We live in a time where pleasure is everywhere. The light of screens follows us into our beds. Laughter plays in our ears while our minds ache in silence. We scroll, we sip, we swipe. Not because we're full, but because something inside is starving. They told us life is about feeling good, but the people who told us that seem more broken than ever. What is this hunger that never ends? What is this thirst that no drink seems to quench? The truth is this: pleasure is not peace. It is distraction, dressed as comfort. We are not addicted to joy. We are addicted to forgetting. Ancient voices warned us, but we forgot to listen. And now, in our modern temples of noise and glass, the soul trembles, begging us to turn inward. There is a fire in you. You feel it when the lights are off, when the music stops, when the dopamine fades and the silence remains. That fire is not rage, it's not desire, it is your soul asking for truth. But truth is heavy, it does not taste sweet. And pleasure is light and hollow and easy. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius could have drowned in indulgence. But instead he wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." He knew what the modern world forgot: that pleasure will not save you, that every high comes with a hangover, and that sometimes discomfort is the only honest teacher. When was the last time you sat with your emptiness, without trying to numb it? In a world full of fireworks, sometimes the most rebellious act is to light a single candle and watch it burn. Imagine this. You've lived your whole life chained in a cave. All you've ever seen are shadows flickering on a wall. You believe they are real because you know nothing else. One day you're freed. You step outside. You see the sun, the truth, the real. It blinds you. That is Plato's cave, a warning from 2,000 years ago. A warning about illusions, about comfort, about mistaking pleasure for reality. The modern cave is not stone. It's digital, bright, addictive, likes, streams, notifications. All of them shadows, all of them beautiful lies. Plato believed the soul longs for truth, but the body craves pleasure. And the tragedy is that most will never leave the cave, because shadows feel easier than sunlight. Ask yourself, am I watching shadows? Or am I walking toward the light? There was once a man who had everything. His name was Siddhartha, a prince surrounded by silk, music, and gardens, shielded from death, age, sickness, and pain. But one day he stepped outside the palace, and he saw what life really was: change, loss, impermanence. the illusion shattered. He gave up his crown, not out of hatred for pleasure, but because he saw it for what it was: a trick, a trap, a chain made of gold. It is craving, he taught, that leads to suffering. The more we chase, the more we need. The more we need, the more we suffer. And so he sat under a tree. Still, silent. Awake, not chasing. Just being. Could you do the same? Could you sit with your hunger and simply watch it, without feeding it? The Stoics did not run from the world. They walked through it, untouchable. Where others sought more, they sought mastery of thought, of emotion, of impulse. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." They saw what pleasure does. It distracts you from who you are. You laugh to not feel. You eat to not think. You scroll to not see. Epicurus, born a slave, became one of the wisest minds in Rome. He wrote, "Freedom is the ability to live as you wish, and no man is free who is not master of himself." What good is freedom if your cravings still control you? The Stoics believed pain teaches, silence strengthens, discipline frees. They chose to feel the weight of truth over the cotton candy lightness of pleasure. Not all truth comes from rejection. Some truth comes from intoxication with the divine. Rumi wrote, "Don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure." Desire, he said, is the flame that can burn us or illuminate the path to God. Hafiz called pleasure a liar with perfume on its lips. Beautiful, but empty. "You were born with wings," he wrote. "Why prefer to crawl through life?" These mystics did not deny the senses. They transcended them. They sang with longing. They danced with absence. They ached for something beyond the body. Desire can awaken you, but only if you stop worshipping it. The key is not to starve yourself. The key is to stop kneeling at the altar of every impulse. Hafiz once asked, "What do sad people have in common?" "It seems they have all built a shrine to the past. and every day they go there and do a strange wail and worship. Ask yourself, have I turned pleasure into a god? And if so, what has it demanded in return? In the early centuries after Christ, something strange happened. Men and women began to vanish into the desert. They weren't escaping death. They were escaping distraction. These were the Desert Fathers, early Christian mystics. They left cities, wealth, and comfort to sit with silence, to meet God without interference. One of them, Abba Moses, said, "Sit in your cell, and your cell will teach you everything." They believed that every worldly pleasure dulled the ears of the soul, that the voice of the divine was not gone. It was just being drowned. They fasted not to suffer but to hear more clearly. They slept on stone, not because they hated comfort, but because they refused to be owned by it. Their lives were stripped of pleasure and full of meaning. What have you turned to when meaning disappears? Has it ever truly satisfied you? While the Desert Fathers withdrew into caves and silence, another tradition offered a gentler path. Taoism, ancient China's quiet philosophy, taught not resistance, but alignment. "The Tao is like water," said Lao Tzu. "It benefits all things without trying." The Taoist sage didn't wage war on desire. He simply stopped obeying it. Cravings arise, but they are not kings. They pass like clouds. To know that enough is enough, he wrote, is to always have enough. The Tao teaches you not to conquer pleasure, but to flow past it. Not to suppress your hunger, but to watch it rise and fall like the tide. Can you observe your craving without reacting to it? Can you let it float by without needing to feed it? That is the way. Friedrich Nietzsche was not a peaceful man. He didn't whisper like the monks. He roared. But beneath the fire in his words was a warning, a deep one. He saw what was coming, a time where humanity would trade greatness for comfort. He called this future man the last man. The last man doesn't dream. He doesn't suffer. He doesn't strive. He blinks. They have their little pleasures for the day and their little pleasures for the night, but they have forgotten how to dance. The last man fears discomfort more than death. He is not evil. He is numb. And in that numbness, the soul quietly disappears. Nietzsche's vision wasn't cynical. It was a challenge. A call to become something more than a creature of comfort. A call to become dangerous to your own delusions. Unshakable. Awake. Ask yourself, have I settled into soft extinction? Or am I still alive as a fire of becoming?